Hello guys, this is Octavius from North American Archery. Thank you so much for tuning into our channel. Today I want to talk to you about target shooting versus bow hunting. There is a big difference in some people's minds, and there is some differences, but there are also some similarities. And what I find in our community is that some people want to elevate target archery over the bow hunter. Almost like bow hunting is a bunch of hacks, traditional archers are the purest most when they shoot targets, okay? You get your form right, you got good back tension, your bow arm's perfect, you don't have any string plucking, you are just a perfect being, if you will. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Both are important to traditional archery. Just because you are a great target shooter doesn't make you a great bow hunter, and just because you're a great bow hunter doesn't make you a good target archer. They both have their place in the sport. But throughout the time I've been on YouTube looking at other people's videos and seeing some of the comments, and then some comments that I have from time to time as well in mine as well, people get really up in arms about what they value the most in traditional archery, and if we just band together, we'll get it figured out. So what I want to do is make a comparison between traditional archers that want to shoot target versus traditional archers that just want to bow hunt. And I want to start out with number one. Strive to learn both skill sets. That's right. Both of these are skill sets. There are some phenomenal bow hunters that are terrible target archers. And there's some great target archers I've met that fall apart like an old washing machine in a tree stand. They can do all the stuff you ever want to see out there on a 3D course, but when it comes down to harvesting that big buck that they've had on camera all year long, they can't get it done. And then I see also guys that are great in a tree stand, great in the blind, they have great woodsmanship, but on a 3D course, they don't come alive. They're not as good as they are in a tree stand. So the thing is, guys, you want to develop both skill sets. Now, you might be somebody that doesn't want to hunt. I got it. And you might be somebody that doesn't want to be a target archer. That's fine as well. But there's a lot of you watching this video right now that want to be good at both. And what you want to do is you want to marry them together. That's right. What I do is I hunt all year long. And I do traditional archery all year long. And that includes shooting target. Heck, right behind me is a target on a tree. Everywhere on my property, I have something to shoot. I can grab a bow out of my little bow shop I have here, and I can go anywhere on my property and I can find something to shoot, whether it's a stump, whether it's a 3D animal, whether it's a bag target, block target, or during the right season, the animal that I want to hunt. So I do this as a lifestyle. So developing both skill sets is essential if you want to be the best you can be. Number two is targets stay still, animals don't. That's one thing that some people don't understand. Just because you can shoot out to 70 yards with perfect form with a target that's just sitting there doesn't necessarily mean you can take that same skill and go out here and shoot an animal at 70 yards. Most likely you can't. So because the animals move, I've shot so many animals, harvested so many animals, and most of them are either moving a little bit or moving a lot. So the thing is you have to begin to develop not only the ability not to have target panic with shooting targets, but you also got to develop a skill not to panic under pressure when you're bow hunting. So the thing is that you can develop target panic just being a target archer, but you don't have time to think about target panic when you're in a tree stand or in a blind. You have so much pressure just to get it done, but they both have a different pressure associated with it. So knowing that animals move and knowing that targets stay in the same spot all the time, you can see that a target archer that go to competitions and think they're the best thing ever should not have any pride over a bow hunter, because bow hunters have their own set of pressures. Rarely do you find somebody that's phenomenal at target archery and phenomenal at bow hunting. I don't know why, it's just the way it is, because most of the time we pick one or the other. What I'm saying is that I'm trying to be both at great, and I'm thinking that many of you guys want to as well. So the target doesn't move when you are just a target archer, whether it's 3D or you have a target at 70 yards away in a competition. Versus animals, they move all the time, and you have to be able to shoot different shooting styles and have different techniques. You can't just be static style the whole time, holding your bow in one position. And so we shouldn't look down on one another, and we shouldn't talk bad about shooting styles, because there's not one that's supreme over them all, because there's so many disciplines we need to learn depending on what we're trying to achieve and the goals we're trying to have met. Number 3, both require commitment to see improvement. You have to commit to both of them. I am trying to get better personally as a target archer. I'm better as a hunter innately, because I've hunted my whole life. But competition shooting is something that I work on, because I have to hold the bow string longer. I have to shoot the same target over and over again, which takes skill for me to do, or I should say, I have to improve that skill, because I get bored personally shooting at the same thing over and over again. I much rather shoot instinctively at multiple different targets than I would just shooting at one target over and over and over again. So I usually like 3D shooting more than I like just shooting at one target. And so it takes me to really focus and really hone in on that in order to improve. Versus bow hunting, where I have to improve at is I have to improve at performing under pressure. Last hunting season, I missed a nice buck right over his back. Was pretty close at 10 yards. I wasn't able to get it on camera because it was so sudden and I was not prepared, and I fell apart under pressure. I passed on a lot of deer that I did not want to shoot. A lot of deer was too far away on the setups I had. It was always, I couldn't get close enough to most of the deer I was hunting in different places that I was at throughout last year. But the thing is that I have to work on is I have to be ready. I don't want to, my whole saying on this channel is you don't have to get ready when you stay ready, right? So the thing is that I'm staying ready this year. I'm hunting as much as I want to. I'm target practicing as much as I need to make sure in those situations in a tree stand, I can make it happen. So I have things to improve on both things, and I know you probably do as well. Number 4 is competition pressure is different than harvesting animal pressure. So if you're trying to competition shoot at the highest levels, you're gonna have pressure of not making that shot. But when you're bow hunting, you have not only not making a shot, but in the back of your mind, you're saying, I hope I harvest this animal because I really want them so I can make the meat go in my freezer, or I can make the mount go on the wall. So there's multiple things that is in your mind. You are actually looking at a trail camera sometimes, and you're coveting this animal. You are tracking this animal, and finally you corner this animal, and now all of a sudden you have to get it done. So it's not just when it comes to the bow hunter making the shot when it counts the most, but also you have to have all your emotions in line and kind of subdue them, if you will, so that when the shot presents itself, you're not caught up in the outcome, and you get more caught up in what you're trying to achieve, which is just make a decent shot and a fatal shot so that you can put the animal down in an ethical way. So in ways, The bow hunter has a lot of pressure that sometimes a target archer doesn't actually realize unless they go out and hunt. And so there's a comparison there as well to think about. And then number 5 is instinctive shooting is more for hunting. Aiming is more for target archery. I know that some of you are very much a proponent for aiming methods when you hunt. But if you hunt long enough, you are going to learn pretty fast that you're not always going to be able to do that. You're going to have to learn and develop instinctive shooting methods. You can aim if the deer is coming your way, and you know that deer is going to stop about right in this area, and you know your farthest shot's 15, 20 yards. Got it. Seen it, and I've done it. But a lot of times when you're spotting stalking, when you're shooting out of a tree stand in a place that you just set up that evening, and you don't know all the different shooting lanes you even have yet, you're going to have to develop a way to where you're saying, okay, I'm going to instinctively shoot and not worry about all the yardages because I've practiced that throughout the year. Versus a target archer, you are using an aiming method where it's a gap method, it's stream walking, it's using the tip of your arrow, all these different things that you can do when you are aiming, using an aiming method, is something that you hang your hat on, right? Because that's what you do. Your job is to make a bullseye every single time you let the arrow go. But we shouldn't elevate that skill set over an instinctive shooter, saying that instinctive shooting is you're a hack. You're just string plucking and hoping it hits. That's not the case. And then an instinctive shooter shouldn't put down the target archer, saying if you didn't have that aiming method, by golly, you wouldn't even be able to make a shot on anything because you're trash. You can't even shoot instinctively. Guys, we got to stop fussing in our own community and get to the place where we understand that both methods are valuable. An aiming method's awesome and instinctive shooting's awesome, but it depends on the situation that you're in and what you're trying to achieve. So guys, I know this is something that many folks don't talk about, but I was out here shooting today on this afternoon and I was thinking, you know what? This is something that's been on my mind for a while, and I think I would share it with my people that are supporting me on my channel. Tell me what you think. This is a very vast subject, and I know that there's a lot of times 2 different camps, but many of you are in both camps. I'm a target archer, but I'm actually a bow hunter as well. But I do target archery so I can become a better bow hunter. Some people just want to do target archery, and some people just bow hunt and don't think they need to do any target archery. But what do you think? Where are you at? Are you in a different camp? Are you kind of like me and you're just doing it all because you want to be the best you can be? Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Thank you for all your support, guys. Thank you for your likes, your comments, and continue to turn on your post notifications. And remember this, you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.